Hi everyone. Hello and welcome to How to Hack, a podcast presented by Meraki Therapy Center. Here we discuss a bunch of different topics related to mental health and, well, of course, how to hack them.
Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of How to Hack. I'm Tanvi, your host for this episode. Today we'll be talking about a topic that many of us may have struggled with: boundaries in close relationships. We have with us practicing psychologist Dr. Swagata Dasgupta. Ma'am has been practicing for 22 years and brings a treasure chest of experience with her. Hi, ma'am. Thank you so
Hi.
much for joining us today.
Hi, Tanvi. Thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I am really looking forward to this discussion.
So, without further ado, let's get started with the basic question that what are psychological boundaries?
Yes, so we'll start with that. Psychological boundaries refer to the emotional, cognitive, and behavioral limits we establish to protect our mental well being, maintain healthy relationships, and distinguish ourselves from others. It is our decision how much mind share, time, resources, and physical as well as psychological proximity we shall offer to the other.
Wow, that sounds like a really important practice to have.
Absolutely.
And when I think of it that way, one of the things that then I want to elaborate on is why are they really important?
Okay. So, can I answer your question with a question, Tanvi?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you think that the security people at the plaza are needed?
Definitely. I mean, they ward off any unwanted elements. They let us work, peacefully without
Yes.
having to take up those responsibilities.
Correct.
They also play a role in, guiding our clients that, this is the way to go. So that's another thing off our plate.
Absolutely.
So it basically allows us to focus on our work without having to, get distracted by these extra elements.
Absolutely. So, similarly, for both interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships, it is super important to have healthy boundaries. And our personal boundaries are like the security cabin in any building. Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a great analogy, actually. So maybe we can try and elaborate on what would be these different ways in which it helps us or provides these boundaries to us.
Yes. So, first thing I would say that personal boundaries help us to maintain our identity. Like you are Tanvi, I am Swagata. I have certain habits, you have certain habits, and they might not match. So, it is because of our personal boundaries, because of which we are able to interact with each other and not imposing ourselves on each other. Like sometimes you will see that in a group of friends, suppose one is a vegetarian, another is a non-vegetarian. There is this very common joke which happens to the vegetarians that you offer something to them and say paneer samajh ke kha le. So if somebody has very healthy personal boundaries, they will, be very okay with it. They will just laugh it off.
Yeah.
If the boundaries are rocky, fuzzy, they will feel pressured. And out of the pressure, they might get aggressive or they might, try non-veg or
Yeah,
something.
they might have to submit. So they might
Yes.
either react in an aggressive way or they might have to give in to somebody else's
Absolutely.
demand. So their
Absolutely.
identity would get compromised.
Exactly. As I think we had seen something like that in Kerala Stories, right? Where they did not have the proper personal boundaries. That, okay, fine, you are doing this, that's fine, I respect it. But at the same time, I respect who I am.
Yeah, certainly.
So, preserving our own identity, we are indebted to personal boundaries for that.
Yes, definitely. What else could be the importance of these boundaries?
One is it helps us to prevent burnout. Because personal boundaries tell us that we do not have to please everyone, right? If you are constantly in this mode that I have to please this person's emotions are my responsibilities, and this person can flash the upset card at the drop of a hat. Okay, like we know that there are some bosses If you take 5 minutes extra for your lunch, they will flash their upset card. And then if you don't have personal boundaries, you start feeling guilty, you do something or the other, you have it in your mind. So this kind of things always lead to burnout. But when we have personal boundaries, these things do not affect us so much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would be very exhausting if we didn't have those personal boundaries. They would make us feel very emotionally exhausted and also make us feel very fed up of having to constantly look out for someone else's needs.
Exactly. If you remember, there was an old movie by Nana Patekar and Manisha Koirala, Agni Sakshi. So
yeah.
there, Nana Patekar had totally invaded the personal boundaries of Manisha Koirala. And it is so exhausting, and he had very loud reactions to the person she was. And it
Yeah.
is very exhausting. And sometimes I see in this generation this also coming back. I have personally seen couples who have their phone on for 24/7.
Oh my god.
If a call is coming, it is recorded.
My goodness.
And they call it transparency, they call it love.
That would be so uncomfortable to keep on. It's such a high standard to keep. It's an unrealistic standard
Absolutely.
to keep living up to.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
So we have to keep our boundaries to prevent burnout. I don't have to attend to someone's emotions always. I sometimes have to be with myself only.
Definitely. So that means boundaries would even be playing a role in keeping our relationships more healthy.
Absolutely. And boundaries are not unloving. They are loving.
Wow, that's a really deep thought, ma'am. Could you please elaborate on that?
Yes. I have seen teenagers. They feel that if I'm not telling everything to my bestie, it is a breach of trust. So we have to explain to them that it is not like that. There are certain informations of your life which you are not ready to share as of now.
Yeah.
And that is not a breach of trust.
Yep, definitely.
And there is also this thing that I also eat what you eat, this kind of, and there are movies which, this puppy love movies, which show that, oh my God, we have the same tastes and we have the same choices kind of things.
Yeah.
And teenagers sometimes imitate that
Oh yes.
to fit in.
Yeah, it's almost like, in relationships, losing that me and you and becoming this
Yes.
us. And
Exactly.
then their individual identities are completely lost. Like we spoke earlier, that because there are no healthy boundaries, they don't really have individual identities of their own that they used to have before the relationship began.
Yes, absolutely. So you create a pseudo self for somebody else.
Yeah.
You lose yourself. So there is no I love you because I is lost. You is lost. This is not love. So there is no
Yeah.
point of the
Wow.
3 magic words.
Oh, definitely. And that would also compromise so much on their self-care, right?
Yes, definitely. Also, to understand whether we are putting healthy boundaries or not, there is one acid test. That is how comfortably we can give and take no.
Oh, yes, definitely. In a relationship, that would be so, like in any interaction,
Any
any
interaction,
relationship that we
yeah.
have with anybody at all, how well our no is received would be so
Yes,
important.
received and given also.
Yeah.
If I feel that I am too big, and how can I say no? If I am portraying that kind of an image, that okay, I am Swagata, I am great, I am awesome, how can I say no? You give me any topic, I can say. That is not the truth. That is a grandiose self-image I am having.
Oh, yes.
So if I can say no easily, and if I can receive no easily, I am in a safe space. I am in a safe relationship.
And also, I think that really ties in well to the idea that being able to say no in any situation when we are establishing our boundaries is not just about what we are thinking of someone else, but what we are thinking of ourselves. So like you very rightly put that just by saying no for something, I don't become a smaller person or a
Yes.
lesser person. I am still who I am, and I have the right to take that step and say that no.
Absolutely.
So no's don't, like, we don't just not say a no because we are uncomfortable by what someone else is thinking, but often our own thoughts come in the way of
Exactly.
being able to say that no.
Absolutely. And sometimes this also happens that maybe you are asking me for 50,000 rupees and I don't have.
Yeah.
And to say no to you, I am feeling so uncomfortable that before you ask also, I end up being rude to you.
Yeah, there would be emotional reactions as well.
Absolutely. So giving each other the right to say no
Yeah.
As very rightly it has been said in Pink by Amitabh Bachchan, that no itself is a
Yeah, it's a complete sentence. Yeah. What else could we think of?
So, promoting self care, that is also very, very important when we put boundaries. And I have very often seen very pious reels and messages like किसी ने तुमको धोखा दिया तुम उसको नफरत मत करो and all those things. Yeah,
My God.
there are all those reels. So I have often put this answer that okay, people who have treated me badly, if I put my resources on them, nothing will be left for those people who have supported me. Because as a human being, my time, my resources, my bandwidth, they're limited. So if I am putting all of them on people who are treating me badly, I will not have anything left for people who are treating me well. And if you see, and that is a very sad thing, you will see people end up investing more on crying babies than supporting people who are supportive.
Yeah, so where they choose who they are giving their resources to, it's invariably the one that's being very difficult, very
Yes.
high demand.
Yes, yes.
High maintenance, as they
Yes,
say.
yes. Crying baby gets the most.
Yeah.
And especially from the people who don't have less boundaries. And as it is very well said these days, that trying harder does not make anyone love us back. So if you are being difficult, that is also a challenge to the self. That okay, this person is so difficult, let me try harder, let me try harder. But that will not make you love me back.
Yeah. The onus is not on you as, the person
change
who-
the other person.
Yeah, who has to try harder.
Oh yes.
It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. And changing a person is the worst goal you can ever take. Nobody changes, especially toxic people do not change.
Yeah, and it's such a big responsibility to take on for something that you're not at all responsible for. Somebody else's actions, somebody else's emotions.
Yes.
They are not your responsibility.
Absolutely.
And if you're taking them onto yourself, then somewhere you are violating your own boundaries.
Yes, yes. I think we 90s kids had all these movies. कि मेरे प्यार तुमको बदल देंगे and all that. I hope nowadays people are more sensible.
I highly doubt that.
Really?
the hero complex or the rescuer complex
Oh,
that
yeah.
so many people
That's still there
keep
so much.
fostering. It's still there. It still makes so many things difficult for yourself. It's always there, I think.
So let me say this, please do not try to change anyone. Just maintain a safe distance with them.
Yeah.
Don't harm them, of course. Yeah.
Do no good, do no bad. Just
Absolutely.
keep that distance.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when we drop these kind of toxic relationships, it is very, very liberating. Like in Queen Kangana had told her ex-fiance that I found myself after losing you.
Yeah. Somewhere she finally had the space to,
Yeah, to be
herself.
herself. To be herself. Yeah.
Right. So wow, we've discussed so many reasons why boundaries are so important. Any final thoughts on why boundaries are important?
Yes, and boundaries help us to enhance our emotional regulation because we do not have to walk on eggshells. That I do this person gets upset. I do that, this person gets upset. It's okay. Allow everyone to be upset. Give yourself the right to be you and give others the right to be upset.
That's really well put. I think a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to ensure nobody feels upset because of their actions or, at least the
Yes.
ones who are really important in their life. It's very difficult to, be okay with that feeling. But
It is always the significant other.
yeah,
It is not that a random person is upset with me, of course I will not bother.
Yeah.
It is the significant other, but it is the same control we have over the emotions. I do not have the control over my significant other as I do not have any control over the emotions of a random person.
understanding our sphere of control basically and knowing
Yes,
where it ends.
yes, yes. Never take responsibility of anyone else's emotions.
Perfect. Now that there are so many reasons why we should be, enforcing our boundaries, practicing, creating and maintaining these boundaries, how do we set them in close relationships? That's the
Yes.
question. How do we hack boundaries?
Yes, absolutely. So we now know the why. And it is said that he who knows the why knows the how as well. Right? So, first thing is be aware of your own rights. What are your rights? Do you have the right to food? Do you have the right to water? Our constitution gives us certain rights as citizens of the country. Definitely exercise them. And one big right we have is the right to refuse. Give yourself this right that it is okay to refuse. So many people have so much difficulty in that. I would say that write it in your room. It's okay to say no. Saying no does not make me a bad person. So that is the first one. Second, I would say again, acceptance of self without the acceptance of others. If it is like I am Swagata and I accept myself only with the acceptance of ABC people in my life, that means my remote control is with the ABC people, right?
Yeah.
So,
The control, the power is then in their hands.
yes, the control towers is there. So, personal boundaries tell us that you are accepting yourself irrespective of the acceptance and rejection of significant people of your life. They're significant people, but they're others. Self acceptance is self acceptance, not others' acceptance. Another suggestion I would say is that is very helpful is solar plexus meditation. So, solar plexus is a chakra in our body, which is also called the Manipur chakra in Sanskrit. It helps us to set our boundaries. It gives us an idea when a person is safe, when a person is not safe, when it is safe to move back, and when it is safe to be there. So, these things I would say are very, very helpful.
Wow. So we would have to firstly take our own rights into account. And then, like you very rightly said, and I think that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do after going home today, is
Okay.
to write
Oh,
and
wow.
put it up
Yes,
that
absolutely.
it's okay to say no. It is something that I also struggle with quite a few times. So I'm going to do this visual cue, as we call
Yes,
it, right?
yes,
That
yes.
something that I can look at, and then self-acceptance being independent of what others think, as you said,
Absolutely.
would be the next thing to keep in mind. And I am going to go read more about the solar plexus meditation
Yes.
and this chakra that you said
Yes,
is helping us
yes.
set this boundary. So yeah, lots of interesting things to go back and reflect on, even for me.
Another thing I have seen is that sometimes we ourselves don't understand our needs and values. What are my needs? Maybe I am not aware only. I expect other people to guess what are my needs.
Yeah.
That is treading on their boundaries.
Yeah, actually, to give them that added responsibility.
Exactly. If I feel that, okay, I'm coming after a long day and Tanvi has not even arranged a coffee for me. But did I tell you, Tanvi, get me a coffee?
Right. So expecting others to be mind readers.
Absolutely, absolutely. In technical terms, this is called passive dependence.
Actually, yeah, we're not actively communicating our needs and expecting others to figure
And
them
we are
out.
not even being independent. I could get my own coffee. Nobody is stopping me from there.
Yeah, actually, that it's an unnecessary dependence on the other one, and if you can ask for it, then that makes it much easier for the other person also, and for you
Exactly.
also to not be disappointed.
Exactly. And sometimes, again, in fancy love stories, it is said, you know, especially the 90s movies, कि मैं कुछ बोलने के पहले ही वो लेके आ जाता है. Please, let's not depend on all these things.
My God.
Speak up. If you have a need, speak up. It's absolutely okay. That is one. Second is communicate clearly and respectfully. Sometimes we are very submissive, maybe I will, or sometimes we are very aggressive, you know, like putting down the other person. So, being in the assertive zone. Suppose you are inviting me for something and I have a previous commitment. Just to come out like this, that I appreciate your invitation, but I have a previous commitment over the weekend. Let's discuss a time slot that might work.
Yeah. So being polite, setting
Yes.
out your own needs, but also respecting the other person.
Yes.
They have initiated something, so you have to
Exactly.
respond in an appropriate manner, but at the same time not let go of your boundary or your need in that situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, respecting the gesture. It's a
Yeah.
loving gesture.
Yeah.
Another I will add, that is the use of I statements. That is taking the complete responsibility. If I feel, I will say that I feel overwhelmed with last moment changes. I would appreciate if you can plan a little earlier and let me know.
Yeah, so that then ensures that the responsibility of me setting my boundary is on me.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
taking that onus and saying that this is what I need, and I would appreciate if you respected that this is what I need.
Exactly. Here, we does not work. It is like we will like it if we, you know, here the we does not give the feeling of we. It is I just sounding we.
Yeah.
So it is better to take the complete responsibility.
That means not only do we need to understand our own needs, our own expectations in a situation, then we need to practice communicating them very clearly,
Absolutely.
setting it out in a very respectful
Yeah.
but a very clear manner, that
Crisp manner.
Exactly, that is what I need from this situation.
Exactly.
And what better way to do it than to use an I statement that
Exactly.
that very clearly says that I'm taking responsibility of my boundary. So that really puts it all together very well. Is there anything more you would like to add, ma'am?
Yeah. One is to be consistent. That is, one day I am okay with you coming late, and next day I throw a blue fit.
Extreme reactions.
Extreme reactions. So if something is not okay with me, it should be not okay with me always. So that helps the person to understand where to stand in the bond, in the relationship. Otherwise, you don't know where to stand in the relationship and you behave in any manner.
Yeah. Also then relates to the expectations aspect, right? That you're not setting out your expectations clearly
Exactly.
by not being consistent.
Exactly. Another is to prioritize and justify our boundaries strategically. So, in hierarchical settings, selectively identifying the boundaries which are non-negotiable, it can be done with a reasoning.
Right. So in a simple way to say it, like we pick our battles.
Yeah, absolutely. We pick our battles and it's okay to explain once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, to enhance our relationship, I will appreciate a few changes.
Right. Especially in a hierarchy, it would be very tricky sometimes
Exactly.
to communicate or to
Yeah.
always be able to give that feedback. But even there, we should remember that we can and we need to do it sometimes.
Yeah. And in a hierarchical situation, it is because of the work and designation there can be hierarchy. But as human beings, we all have equal rights over dignity and happiness. There cannot be any hierarchy there.
Yeah, there everybody is equal.
Everybody is equal.
Any final
Last.
thoughts on this one? Yes.
Yeah, and last is, do not over accommodate. Especially in certain cultures, of course, in Indian culture, self-sacrifice is very much glorified.
Yeah.
Self-sacrifice does not give us any brownie points. So give flexibility, but not self-sacrifice.
So does that mean it's not okay to serve others? I mean, where is the line really between self-sacrifice and accommodating for somebody else? Because it can get very tricky in close relationships to know that difference.
Very true. That's very true. So to answer this question, I will take the example of Alia Bhatt's sentence in Rocky and Rani. That is,
I know which one you're going for.
yes. So I'll just go for it.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. सेवा एक तरफा हो तो उसे गुलामी कहते हैं.
और गुलाम नहीं बनना.
नहीं, गुलाम तो नहीं बनना है.
गुलाम नहीं बनना
Of course.
है.
वो आमिर खान बन चुका है कभी. So in a global way, it is givers have to put boundaries because takers don't have any.
That's a heavy one, I would say, because in a way, the ones who take often keep on taking, and then
Yes.
the one who's giving has to know when to say,
Absolutely.
ab bas, ab aur nahi.
Yes.
It reminds me of that iconic moment in Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum where finally Jaya Bachchan speaks up and says, "Keh diya na bas, keh diya." Like for the entire movie, it's Amitabh's line.
Yeah.
And then finally at the end, you see that flip, where she finally draws her boundary and says, enough is enough with your
Exactly.
ego, and I can't deal with it anymore.
Exactly.
We will-
So I will give a disclaimer here. That is, in very challenging relationships where there is narcissistic abuse, where there is family scapegoat abuse, these strategies will probably not work. But in other close bonds, they can work very well. So we can start off here.
Yeah.
But yes, if you are in those kind of relationships, definitely we will need a little more talking, a little more support to deal with that.
The way you have explained all of these techniques and the way we should be creating that balance, it sounds really good. It sounds very ideal actually, but given that our Indian culture is one of interdependence, it's especially in close relationships, we expect from others, and we even others
Offer.
expect from us that there will be compromise, and there will be a sort of giving more to the other than looking out for ourselves. So in this type of situation and in our culture, how can we make it work here?
Yes, talking about Indian families. So let me see if I have some solutions for the Gopi Bahu.
Oh yes. All the laptop washing aside.
Oh, yes,
The poor
yes.
thing is definitely in need of some suggestions. ma'am.
Absolutely. She is the example of the bichari.
Epitome.
Yeah, absolutely epitome of bichari. So she is the epitome of being submissive. Her over accommodating behavior is likely a complex blend of cultural expectations, personal habits, fears, and emotional responses. Over time, learning to recognize and address these tendencies can help even Gopi Bahu set boundaries, prioritize self care, and maintain healthier relationship with others. Nevertheless, all families are not like that. There are many progressive Indian families as well, where setting boundaries, clear and respectful communication, as well as active listening can work very, very well. I would again give example of this movie, Thappad. Tapsi Pannu had said something very important. She said that by accommodating and over accommodating, she had given this message to her husband that she is the person who is okay being slapped.
Oh yes, Thappad had really done a wonderful job at explaining
Absolutely.
how seamlessly almost we forget our boundaries. We
In the name of love.
in the name of love, in the name of very close relationships, expectations, roles होते हैं कुछ where you are expected to be a certain way, so you start to behave that way. Even something as simple as I remember her dialogue where she's saying कि मैं तो भूल ही गई थी कि मेरा favorite color blue था ही नहीं. Like she has even changed something so dear to her identity that what her likes and dislikes are.
Exactly. And being in a relationship is also a lot about being you. If you are not being able to be you in a relationship, you need to revise whatever is going on.
Yeah, I think it's a lot like how Sridevi said in English, right? That I realized that I needed to step away from the relationship, find myself again, and come back. So how important it is for that self to be preserved to ensure that the relationship is healthy and one between equals.
Exactly. So yes, in Indian families, definitely we don't drop people.
Yeah,
Right.
that's not an option.
That's not an option. Whatever it is, even if it is toxic, sometimes we have to stay together.
Yeah.
So, how to do that? First thing is reducing the mind space. So, by that I mean, suppose I have a toxic family member, but even when I'm going out with my friends, I'm still talking about that toxic family member only.
Right. Rent-free space in the mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even if I'm having a meal outside, I'm still thinking about that person. I'm thinking how that person might be harassing me and how I will respond to that person. So it is important that we have our own goals and priorities. That person does not become the whole and soul of our life.
Yeah. Whenever we get the opportunity, we should find a way to step
Yes.
out of it.
When we are out of their physical space, it is important that we take them out of our mind space as well. So here, little practice of mindfulness, practicing being in here and now can be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
So that when you are stepping out of the space, you are stepping out of both the physical space and the mind space.
That would take a lot of practice, I'm sure, but
Yeah,
it's a very practical technique to try.
it's worth.
Yeah.
The try is definitely worth.
Yes, worth it. So what else could we try?
So, though in Indian families there is a culture of interdependence, if the relationship is toxic, it is important we try to reduce the interdependence as much as possible. Try to gain back whatever power, try to claim back whatever power we had given out of good faith. Claim it back. Become independent there. Okay. Especially in couples, the finance part and everything. If you feel that the financial arrangement which is there between you and your partner is taking away your individuality, claim it back.
Right.
If the interdependence is crossing your personal boundaries, definitely you can claim it back.
It's okay to renegotiate the boundary, basically.
Correct. Another is time spent together. Maybe initially with that family member you would be spending quite some time together, but then you realize in the time you are spending with that person, there is a lot of toxicity coming in. There is belittling, there is grandiose bragging, boastful statements with putting you down, maybe gaslighting and all that. Reduce the time spent. Maybe you have to give some service or the other as a part of the Indian culture. It's okay, do that, but do not spend extra time. Do not have extra conversations.
Yeah. Keep it to the point.
Yes.
Be a little tactful and figure out how you can reduce the interaction that you have with the person.
Yes. And the last I would say, also reduce the space share. If you are sharing maybe one table or something, buy two tables. It could be, in your workspace also.
Yeah.
You ask for a separate desk
Yeah.
so that there is not, too much clashes.
Yeah, actually, like, I mean, I can also suddenly, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was fridge space.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
have so
yeah.
many of my friends who now stay with, as paying guests, and they are sharing a room or a house with other flatmates. And one of the big challenges is
Yeah,
how
the
to manage,
refrigerator.
yeah, fridge space or, kitchen counter space, ki ye mera saman hai, ye tumhara hai, ya this food I have purchased, you have purchased. I have heard even extreme ideas that some of them had where they were trying to measure how much milk who drank, and I said that might be a bit far. But
Yeah,
other than
yeah.
that, you can definitely label or plan it out in a way that you can keep that space share at a minimum, and that would
Yeah.
help.
I think absolute small things which are inconsequential, we can let go.
Yeah.
But what is having a consequence? As you said very rightly, choose your battles well.
Wow, that was a power-packed set of things that we have discussed as we spoke about maintaining boundaries, because that was my last question for this discussion.
Yes. Then we can I cut you?
Of course, ma'am. Please
So there's
go
a
ahead.
disclaimer I would like to put
Yes.
that all the examples we have given,
Yeah.
I think most of them or even all of them are women setting boundaries. So I understand that maybe women's boundaries have been challenged more, but men also have their boundaries encroached by other men or also by women. So please don't think that we are not cognizant of that. We are very cognizant of both the genders. So the strategies given will apply both to men and women.
Very important disclaimer, ma'am. Glad that you've pointed that out, that yes, definitely, it's not about men or women, but just as an individual, these are the things that you can keep in mind, can practice. So we have looked at a number of reasons why boundaries are important. We have discussed so many techniques that they can use to try and set these healthy boundaries, whether it is being aware of your own rights, being mindful of how you are communicating them, so being respectful but also being very clear, very crisp about it, taking onus by using I statements. You're also being strategic and not going all out, but at the
Right.
same time you're being consistent, and also you remember that सेवा एक तरफी नहीं होनी चाहिए बिल्कुल
Right.
भी, so you are not over accommodating, but at the same time you are creating that balance in your relationships, and of course reducing mind space, the time share, the space share that we have with somebody who is being very difficult to actually maintain our boundaries with. I think there's a lot that I'm going to go back and think about and try and put into practice myself.
Thank you so much.
It's just so relatable, all of the things that you shared with us today and the examples that you gave. Any final thoughts that you may have, anything more that you'd like to add?
So finally, everything is all about loving yourself. So love yourself and also allow others to love themselves. And finally, we live and let live.
Perfect. So just like Karan Johar's mantra used to be, it's all about loving your family. I think now our new mantra should be, it's all about loving ourselves and letting others love themselves. Very
Yes.
rightly put. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you,
joining us.
Tanvi.
It was really wonderful to hear all of these thoughts that you shared with us. And I hope that all of our listeners have taken away a lot from this podcast episode. If you all have any suggestions, any inputs of what you all would like to hear about going forward, please do let us know. In the meanwhile, like, share, and subscribe to our content. Please do go and listen to our previous podcast. There's a lot of useful information even in our previous episodes. And we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. We are a few days away from the new year, so wishing you all a very happy new year in advance.
Very happy new year to everyone.
And we will see you next year
Yes.
with our next episode. Thank you so much for joining us today.